Hey guys, and welcome back to the Books in Under 10 channel, where I will completely review the topics of a book in under 10 minutes. Today we are going to be talking about Grant Cardone's The 10X Rule. Grant Cardone, if you don't know, is a salesperson, entrepreneur, and investor. He's been studying success for the past 3 decades, and he wrote the 10X Rule to share with us what he's learned through his research and throughout his career. Before I get started, I would urge you to stick around toward the end of the video, where I will be talking about the top 5 personality traits that Cardone lists for successful people. So let's jump on in to the 10X rule. Cardone says that there are 3 major mindsets that you must adopt in order to be successful. Number 1, success is important. Number 2, success is your duty. And number 3, there is no shortage of success. Now, what do these mean, you might ask? Well, we're going to take a second and go through each one of them. So the first one, success is important. Cardone says that as long as you are alive, you will either live your life trying to accomplish your own goals and dreams, or you will be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's goals and dreams. He says that living an average life and living an extraordinary life take the same amount of effort. So why would you settle for average? He argues that average thoughts and average actions never yield anything more than average. And much of the time, they yield much less. To explain this, he talks about the 2008 financial crisis, where many Americans, and even Cardone himself, were not prepared financially for the economic downturn. Many middle-class Americans especially lost their homes because they were not ready to take on the financial hardships of 2008. Cardone himself lost a lot of money in this process. And the worst part about it is he says that it could have all been avoided if we were just operating at 10x levels. So Cardone says, this is the first major mindset. Success is important. So, success is important, but it's also your duty. Cardone says that living an average life is unethical. If you are thinking about starting a business, your potential clients are going to be solving a problem with your product. So your product or service is going to solve a problem for your client. He says that in another alternate reality, if you do the easier thing and you don't start your business, your clients are going to be out of luck because you're no longer there. So in this way, living an average life is unethical because you deprive the marketplace of your best products. He also says that when you make success your duty, you must take responsibility for everything. He says that when you take responsibility for everything, your excuses are annihilated. And he's really happy about that because he hates excuses. He says excuses are really good indicators that you're not taking enough action. And he says if you're afraid of taking action, that's a really good indicator that there's an opportunity for growth there, and you should embrace it. When he talks about this, he has a really cool analogy that I wanted to share with you. He says that kids and adults have boogeymen, but kids are afraid of the boogeymen in their closet. Adults are afraid of the boogeymen that are failure and rejection. So he says, look, you have to put yourself out there. It's the only ethical thing to do. And by the way, when people see your commitment and dedication, they will more often than not, try to help you achieve what you set out to do. So, success is your duty. In addition to this, Cardone says that there is no shortage of success. He says that when things aren't going right for people, when they're not taking enough action or thinking big enough, they often try to blame others or market conditions for their failures. And he says, this is just the victim mentality. Why would you want to be a victim? Nothing good ever happens to victims. I'm sure there are people in your lives that you can think about that always have something wrong going for them. They never take responsibility. So being a victim violates the second rule, and also, victims kind of habitualize the behavior that makes bad things happen to them. So he says, you don't want to be a victim. So in addition to this, he also talks about the idea of a zero-sum game. He says that when we're children, we play board games where there is a definite winner or loser. But he says that life is not a zero-sum game, and that if you operate at massive levels, if you take massive action, you will start to create opportunities for yourself that benefit you, your client, and the people supplying the opportunities to you. So, there you go. There is no shortage of success. So let's quickly review what Cardone told us, the 3 mindsets that we had to adopt to become successful were. Number 1, success is important. Number 2, success is your duty. And number 3, there is no shortage of success. So before I end the video, I promised that I would reveal Cardone's top 5 traits of successful people. And my notes are right over here. I'll be right back. He says that successful people have a can-do attitude. Successful people believe that they can figure it out. Successful people focus on opportunity. Successful people love challenges. And successful people seek to fulfill problems. So go back in the video, write down that list, and every time, put it someplace where you can see it often, and every time you see it, kind of just do a mental check on yourself to see if your actions are in line with those traits. And Cardone says if you are following those traits by and large, you are on your way to success. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you take anything out of this video, just remember, take 10 times the amount of action you think is necessary. Set 10 times the goals you would initially set. And those goals, those massive goals, will inspire and motivate you when the hard times come. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.